By the way, dude, that was super.
Sweet. Oh, hi, everybody. Sorry, I
Hey,
pushed that
everybody.
while you were
No,
talking.
no, no problem.
Okay.
Nothing
All right.
bad.
A last minute spring. Well, you'll hear what it is. All
I
right.
have no
Let's do
idea
this.
what this one is. Actually,
Okay.
let's say that. I'll say
Okay.
that in the opening.
Good idea. Okay, great.
Okay, here we go. One, two, three, click. One, two, three.
One, two, three. You're listening to Overcoming Runner's Block, a two Gomers podcast about regular people chasing big goals, facing their excuses and barriers, and inviting a nation along for the run. This is block 34. Spring has sprung up as a block I need to overcome for June 24th, 2022.
Welcome, everybody, to the 34th block of Overcoming Runner's Block. Let me just say that again in case it's not 34. Welcome, everybody, to Overcoming Runner's Block. This is Anthony speaking, one of those two aforementioned Gomers coming to you from Atlanta, Georgia, with my friend Steven, all the way out in Flagstaff, Arizona.
Now, this is strange because this is an episode that it wasn't in the schedule that we're recording because I had
Right,
to schedule it as soon as possible because it's about spring.
right.
But then I realized it's not coming out until summer.
That's okay. I mean, these are going to stay on iTunes and
That's true.
Spotify and all the places forever.
Right.
But to use a pun, you sprung this on me,
Yes, that's
and I
true.
actually have no idea what this could even be about. Like
Right. We,
normally when we have a block, I think about, is it a block for me? I do a little bit of research about it, and then I'm like, oh dang, that really is a block for me. I have no clue
okay.
what you're gonna say.
I kind of like that. I kind of like when we
Yeah,
surprise each other. You have to have
yeah.
you have to keep your relationship fresh.
Yeah. Spring stuff on each other from time to time.
Yep, yeah, keep it exciting, just like when we first met. Um, well, I mean, you're right. That maybe in 2023, when spring springs again, people can
Mm-hmm.
say, "Oh, didn't they record an episode about spring last summer?"
Mm.
And go into it. But basically, I was like, this we are recording this in May, so we are recording this in the spring, and I was
Yeah.
just running and realizing, actually, here's what can we just go right into the block?
Oh, sure.
Okay. Do you have a La Croix?
I don't.
Guess what? I knew you didn't, so I brought one. Hey,
Yeah.
spring. Um,
Perfect.
okay. The reason I was like, we have talked seasonal stuff before, right? Like
Yep.
summer and winter in particular, hot hot heat. That's right. That's
Mm-hmm.
what I said.
Mm-hmm.
We've talked about cold, and we've talked about snow, right? And ice.
Yep. Totally.
Yeah,
We've talked about ice, talked about snow, sweet heat. We haven't talked about sweet heat.
I'm sure we've talked about sweet heat elsewhere, right? Do you like something that has sweet
Wings.
heat? Yeah.
I love sweet heat. I make a like a teriyaki chicken. Oh, it's a spicy Szechuan. House of
Ooh.
Sang is the
Okay.
brand. The spicy Szechuan, dude.
Yeah.
That's a tasty sauce. It's probably a little salty and a little, you could
Right.
probably make it better, but
And what would you put
that's
that
good.
sauce on?
Sweet heat. Oh, chicken wings. I get chicken
Okay.
wings, non-breaded from Publix. Throw them on the
Mm-hmm.
pizza stone. Toss them with that sweet heat, and then dip them in ranch.
Really? That's how you make a wing, is on your pizza stone in the oven.
Well, no, no, no. They're no, no. They're like Publix. Like they're already made.
Oh, I see. Okay. All right.
Sorry,
Because
different
I
story
would
for making
say
them.
that the thing we use our air fryer for most is wings. That's worth the
Yep.
price of admission for that air fryer. Is it
Yes.
makes excellent wings. And did you say you
Yum.
sauce before you put them in or after?
After, so they're
Okay.
piping hot, and you get a
Yep.
silver bowl. Put some of that spicy Szechuan, or you can do
Why is it
Frank's
got
and
to be a
butter,
silver
or
bowl? Because I do it in a silver bowl too.
gotta be. That's how they do it at restaurants, dude.
Toss it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Toss, toss,
yeah.
toss. Yep.
Mm.
Okay. Sweet heat. Runner's block 35. Sweet heat.
Sweet heat. I have
A
a problem
wings
eating too
based
many wings.
episode.
Yeah, yeah,
No, this
yeah.
is
Seriously.
34 about spring because I was thinking, I'm out here running and this season is killing me. And
Huh.
I want to
Okay.
do an episode. We have not done a seasonal episode on spring yet. And I'd like to do an episode on spring. Now, I understand that that can be very geographically specific.
Sure.
And I think some of the things I'm going to be sharing today are geographically specific, but I still think it would be fun.
Okay.
And then I was thinking I'd
Sure.
be hard pressed to figure out a way that the fall is a block.
No,
If we ever
there
wanted to do
is.
one in that, that's my favorite season to run.
Yeah, the only I think fall is the best running weather
Mm-hmm.
other than winter. But fall, you're happy, new things are starting, even though things are dying. Like school has started. Maybe I guess maybe being busier than summer that could maybe be a block for fall. But other than that,
Yeah,
I
I mean
love
the
fall.
temperature changing from sweltering hot to bearable just
Mm-hmm.
supersedes any block, I feel like.
Yep.
You
Yep.
can get out there again and not be just buckets of sweat and you can only
Yes.
go a certain distance because you'll overheat.
Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyways, fall, I was thinking that would be a little bit tricky, but what I pitched to you was I have three quick fire blocks
Oh
that
yeah.
all fall under the spring heading for what
Okay.
makes it hard for me to get out. They're
Yep.
on the roads or the trails.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So either I could, like a good preacher, give you all three of them up top, so you have the roadmap, and then I say, and so the three things I shall talk about in this one are blank
Mm-hmm.
blank blank,
Yep.
and
All starting with P.
I couldn't figure out a way to get them all to start with the same letter. So I'm not a very good
Dang
preacher, I
it.
guess. Um,
Oh, you're great.
or I can just do one at a time and surprise you.
Let's do that. Let's do that.
Okay.
Although
All right.
I love it when Keller does that when he says his 3 points.
Mm-hmm.
I do love that because you're like, okay, I can't wait to get to point three. That one sounds great. You know,
The
like you're.
reason I do it is so people will know when I'm almost done.
Oh yeah. Well, I think the 3 point preaching rules because yeah, people need a trellis.
Mm-hmm.
When you're going
Yep.
to listen to somebody talk for 30 minutes, if you have a trellis, I think that little mental thing makes people listen more.
Oh yeah.
They're like, okay, I'm here. It's not, I have 30 more minutes to go. It's like, okay, well, because every new point being said, you're like, oh, okay, I know where I am now.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. And
Yep.
and when it's paired with a visual, so my
Mm.
go-to is at the end of my intro in a talk,
Mm-hmm.
I'll do
Mm-hmm.
I'll say, here's what I'm going to talk about. The three things. Boom, boom, boom. You see them up on the screen, and then the first two the second and third disappear, and I'm at the top. And so
Oh,
they always
yeah.
know visually where I'm at.
Yep.
Um,
Love it.
but sometimes a nice surprise is good. See, keeping that
Yeah.
fresh relationship.
Yeah, it's good. Let's do it.
We need to keep our relationship fresh with our listener as well.
You're right. You're
And
absolutely
so
right. So
we'll do it this way.
so let's do it like we don't normally do it, which is just just going by the seat of our pants.
Yeah, very different than normal,
Keep it fresh, dude.
especially on a perfect movie episode where of the 1,000 things I want to talk about, we get through like 8
I know. Totally.
pretty randomly. I even in this Father of the Bride episode we just recorded, I tried
Yep.
to do a talk through, which we ended up doing, but still, you and I are
Mhm.
bouncing everywhere, and that's fine. It's part of the Gomers.
Bebopping and scatting. And as we've been talking, I've already written down a couple blocks that I find in spring now that I think about it.
Great. Okay, beep bop a little up. Let's go to my first one. Spring block is, I submit to you, I should chunk in wind.
Okay.
Is it
Got
windy
it.
in Georgia ever?
I noticed more wind when two things make me think of wind. One is riding a bike.
Okay.
I think there are so many hills and trees here that it's not as bad as Florida was.
Okay, interesting.
Um, and then the second is frisbee. We love, we love playing frisbee out in the front yard.
Okay, yeah.
Like that is one of our favorite things, dude. Like, is because our street it's on a cul-de-sac, right? And so like
Yep.
you can actually kind of play in the street,
Yeah.
like
It doesn't seem
somewhat
like a
relative.
very trafficked area, right?
No,
Like
no,
it's which also should be a block traffic. I was thinking about that the other day. That's not a
yeah,
Spring specific one, but we got to talk about that at some point.
right.
Um, is there a time of year where you're like, Frisbee's not going to work for the next couple months
Hmm.
because of the
Rain
wind?
and wind. Yeah, I mean, we've wanted to do it quite a few times recently, and we haven't. And I mean, so I don't know. Is wind more often during spring?
So in Flagstaff,
Okay.
for it definitely is. It
Okay.
gets warmer, and so people are like, "Yay, it's getting warmer." But you know what happens in the spring? Here come the winds. Um,
Really? Huh.
High winds for most of the tail end of March through April, and even through May. Um,
Wow.
High gusty winds, and sometimes not even gusty, sometimes just steady
Yep.
wind. I don't know
Hmm.
if it's a mountain thing. I suppose I could have looked this up before springing
Yeah.
this episode on you, but I don't know why that is. But it might just be because of the difference in temperature in Arizona, where
Yeah.
Phoenix is so boiling hot and we're cooler, and so do the wind. Does something happen with the wind? Listen, I don't know. I'm not a scientist.
Right.
All I know is
We're
it's
not
windy.
scientists.
Right.
Right. You know, it's
Um.
more windy, and people talk about it.
Right. And it's kind of this known thing. And so like sometimes gusts up to like 80 miles per hour
Oh
while
wow.
I'm running.
Oh wow.
Um, and then sometimes like steady 40, 50 mile per hour just blowing at you.
Which can be fun if it's the wind beneath your wings. Like
That's true,
when
right?
when the
Pull a Bette
wind.
Midler and
Yeah.
you're fine.
Yeah, I mean,
Um,
I
Go ahead.
remember in Florida
Mm-hmm.
specifically riding bike, like when we were training for that triathlon,
Right.
and the bike trail that I was on Tampa Bay,
Uh-huh.
right? Like it
And so
went
you'd get like
across.
bay winds.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so when you were riding into it, it was next to impossible, but it was
Right.
also really good adversity training. But when you had the wind in your back, you're going like 25 miles an hour easy.
Especially on a bike, right? Because you
Oh
don't
yeah.
actually, you can just not do anything.
Mm-hmm.
And it just
It's
takes you forward, and
amazing.
you're like, man, I'm putting the miles in.
So fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
So the wind causes all sorts of problems in Flagstaff. If a fire starts, which a wildfire started 3-4 weeks ago, and
Oh.
it was just absolutely brutal, burned down a ton of people's houses. It was
Oh
horrible,
geez.
and a lot of that is the wind because it gets dry and windy at the same time. Um, and I don't have dryness on here, but I should. Anyways, wind for me as a runner is mostly just like this super we've never had a block that's just called I'm annoyed, but it's so annoying.
Hmm.
All these things I'm about to say about spring are just, it's not like they are painful or I mean, it's going to sound so petty, but it's just like sometimes you can just get so annoyed with something
Yep.
that can be a block, and it can be enough to keep you inside.
Sure. I think maybe I run so slowly that like I noticed it more on a bike.
Well, I mean, you do notice that kind of thing the faster you're going, I guess.
Yeah.
And especially if you're in the elements, you won't notice it as much when you're driving around. But you're right.
Sure.
Walking versus running versus biking kind of escalates the annoyance of wind.
Yeah.
Um,
Yep.
so I'm actually wondering, do people in other parts of the country also experience more wind? Now, maybe I'm getting lucky, and some people in the country have more wind in the summer, and so this episode is coming out at a good time for them. But spring for us, windy, so annoying. Now, my question here for you is: should I go to practical tips now, or should I wait until I have all three out and then do practical tips one by one,
Ooh, let's
going
do
on the
practical
fly?
one by one.
Okay,
Um, I was just Googling windiest city,
great. Now, will
and
you
then
get Chicago at the top of that, even though that's not referring to its actual wind? Did you know that? Windy City is not because it's
oh,
windy, it's because some queen came to visit Chicago and they were pompous in Chicago, and windy is another name for stuck up. And so she called Chicago the
No,
Windy City.
no way. I had no idea. So I stopped Googling because I was like, you moron, the windiest city is Chicago. So I
Well,
stopped.
that's
Okay.
what I'm wondering. Does it come up? It is a windy city.
Nope.
Also,
Well, actually,
okay,
yes, it comes up as number 3.
okay. What's number
So,
one? Pray tell.
okay, here's what it says on Google:
Yeah.
windiest cities in the U.S. Boston, Massachusetts,
Okay. Interesting.
Oklahoma City,
Uh huh.
Chicago.
Okay.
Now I'm scrolling down to see if it's any places that we live.
Chicago, you get those super icy winds off of what is it, Lake Michigan?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, right. So they have
Milwaukee, I
the
bet, is
the
also windy.
yeah. So any city with wind. Yeah, but it's okay. So yeah, it says Boston, Oklahoma, Buffalo, Milwaukee,
Okay.
Dallas, Cleveland. Actually, I remember running in Cleveland when I did that really cool 10 mile, the Cleveland 10 miler, like, and part of it was along the beach. And I remember it being in late April, early May, and
Okay.
it being incredibly windy.
Okay. Yeah, I think it might be a spring thing.
Yeah. Hmm.
Um,
Super interesting, dude.
okay, so here's my dumb practical tip with it. First of all,
Okay.
just get over yourself.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Great
And
tip.
just
Get
don't
over
be
it.
so annoyed. Just go out. It's fine. Wind isn't going to kill you. Um, and then my second dumb tip is if you can, we were just referring to this, do an out and back so at least one of the directions you have the wind beneath your wings.
Great. And if you can make the windy first, maybe
You're speaking
like
my language. Windy,
or
run against the wind first,
yes.
and then run with the wind second.
Yep.
Because
Even if that means you have to drive someplace.
yep, yes, I actually think now that I'm thinking of it, I think I had a similar tip with hills. Is if you
Okay.
can go uphill first,
Yeah. Yeah.
out, and then downhill second. That's an issue, a really annoying issue with where we live right now, which is we're at the top of a hill.
Yep.
And so when we run, the uphill is the second half. And
Mm.
I am so annoyingly, I'm such a, I must be such an annoying running partner to Jessica because I always complain about it every time we run. It's like, why couldn't it be the opposite?
Well, what you should do then is drive to where your midpoint, run
Yep.
home.
Go back and drive home.
Yeah, like drive away, run home, eat a sandwich, take a little break, go to the
There's a
bathroom.
sandwich issue with this plan of yours because midway through the run is a place I can make a sandwich.
Right.
Um, otherwise, it's a perfect plan.
Yep.
Okay, so that's my dumb advice. I don't have any other advice besides like, listen, it's gonna be windy.
Yep.
I mean, I do think that there is sometimes in me where I'm like, I'm not gonna get a very good time today because of the wind.
Yeah.
Because it's just against you. The worst is when you do a kind of circular run and you have to deal with the wind several times. Or there have been a couple times where the wind has shifted. This is true.
Yeah.
My runs have been like I'm on like a really long run where it's a 10 miler and 5 are into the wind and then I turn around and the last 5 are also into the wind.
Yeah. So uphill both ways sort of thing.
Yeah,
Um,
nothing's worse than that.
I'm just trying to think if there's some way that you could either make it fun because I love the
Mm-hmm.
idea. So I love the idea of just suck it up. Ooh, that's
Right.
kind of windy, sucky,
Sucky.
right?
Ooh, sucky. What's that from?
Ooh, sucky. I don't
Tommy
know.
Boy. That's from Tommy Boy. Ooh,
Oh yeah, yeah,
sucky.
yeah. Okay, good. Um,
Oh no, it's from
so
Elf. I think it's from Elf
okay,
because it's that little that like male thing that goes boom, where they're putting things
yeah,
in and he goes with his face and he goes ooh sucky.
yeah, it's Elf. Ooh, sucky.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just wondering if there's a way that you could, like enjoy it or, like,
Yeah.
yeah, Pretend
Okay, I
you're
have
like
one. I have kind of
sailing.
one overarching tip at the end of this that I think will speak to that a little bit.
Okay, great.
Um, okay, so that's wind. The second one I submit to you, pollen. My allergies.
Oh, my allergies. Okay, that's huge in Georgia. Huge. Okay, tell me
Really?
about it.
Is it spring or when is it huge in Georgia?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
So everything is yellow everywhere you look.
I wonder
Every
what us too, and we're in it right now, where everything has like a thin or thick layer of super fine pollen.
Yep. So that was us like a month, if not 6 weeks ago.
It must be a different tree
Uh-huh.
that does that to you guys than to us, but it sounds like a similar thing where you're just like one day you walk outside and then you're gonna have to deal with this for a couple weeks. Just
Yeah.
yellow pollen everywhere.
My black CRV is a yellow cab.
Right.
Like
Exactly.
I almost took a picture of my car and did one of those like show me you live in Georgia
Mm-hmm.
without
Without
saying
saying
you
that
live
you
in
live in
Georgia.
Georgia. Yeah, very cool.
Like it's
Yep.
crazy. In our first spring here, yeah, like we couldn't believe it. And also I remember our first year here, I just was like sick.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Yeah.
and it has completely gone away. I
So
never
for
get
me,
sick
it's been
anymore
a
like that.
trade-off between fall and spring. So my allergies were really
Ugh.
bad in the fall in the
Yeah.
Midwest. And then
Mm,
there's just different, everything is deciduous. Which one is which? Coniferous. It's all pine
mm,
trees here.
I like
And
those words.
so,
Those could come up in the wedding game.
except for it's all
Deciduous.
tree based.
Oh, that's fine. Anything natural. Pith,
So the
xylem,
wedding
phloem.
game, this is if people haven't been listening to us long, the wedding game is Anthony sits at a table at the wedding. This isn't a wedding you're in. This you're just a guest at the wedding. And
Yeah.
we've talked about this before that we're good middlers. We're able to create conversation. One of the things you do to make conversation at a wedding, at the reception, is to just say, everybody take a turn saying a science word.
You have to be with people your own age that get that kind of humor, though.
Oh,
You
so
know,
this isn't an icebreaker get to know you game. This is like, okay,
no.
we're saying nature words until we run out and that person loses. This is people you know.
No, it could be. No, it could be. No, it could be icebreaker for sure. But it's. I was actually thinking about this during which we didn't get to in the When Harry Met Sally. Sorry, the Father of the Bride.
Uh-huh.
Is dude, I haven't been to a wedding in like 15 years.
Wow, I go to so many weddings.
So I wrote in my notes age and stage because there was a time,
Right?
right? So you're different because you work with college students, I
I
think.
mean, they never get. What? Sorry, I was gonna say something. You know
You
what?
keep
They
getting
always.
older.
Yeah, I keep getting older. They keep getting married.
Oh, I was
Um,
gonna say they keep staying the same
I know. I
age.
tried not to say that. I was trying not to say that.
Sorry. I mean, it's a
But
famous quote.
exactly. They always say the same age, so they're always getting married. These college students, right? Well, I'm
Yeah, yeah.
always gonna if as long as I work with 22-year-olds.
Yep.
Um, I've already been to a wedding this summer, and I think I have two
Wow.
more. Um, so, anyways, at the wedding, we're good wedding guests, right? Is that
Definitely.
prideful to say? I think we're pretty good wedding guests. We
No,
can
we
we
can be
can
good
make
middle. Yeah.
conversation.
hmm
Case in point, the wedding game,
And we
which
have a
is you say
podcast
xylem and
also.
phloem until people run out of things to say.
Right. It's fun.
Yeah. So deciduous, we have coniferous trees, cone.
Okay.
That's how I always remember it. Pine
Oh yeah.
cone. Um,
Good. Yeah.
and that is for some reason much more intense in the spring than it is in the fall. And so when we first moved here, which was in the summer, I was like, my allergies are gone forever because they didn't happen in the fall.
Mm-hmm.
And then spring came and it was a rude awakening, I tell you, because I'm
Mm,
so sneezy. So I'm out there running, got to bring Kleenex with me.
really?
It's bad, dude.
Wow. I had no idea.
Wow. And I'm a very loud nose blower. I get tons of crap about it from my family. Why can't you just blow your nose quieter? It doesn't work. unless it's really loud.
You're totally right, bro. You're because it has to make that sound.
I can't be like, when you try to blow your nose quiet, it's like nothing comes out. I gotta go honk.
Yeah, for sure.
So I'm out there and look like a total moron. I put on my Publix fanny pack.
Right. Yeah.
Fill it to the brim to overflowing with Kleenex.
And so how do you discard?
Well, I have to remember I separate them and I put them back
Sure.
in, but on the other side.
Sure. Yeah.
Disgusting.
Yeah.
And that, I mean, it's like this pollen is so fine. Everybody suffers from it in town.
Yeah. No, I know.
But a guy that's
totally
allergy prone like me,
Yeah.
I used to have to get allergy shots when I was in middle school and high school, so I wouldn't die from allergies.
You never had any food allergies, though. Oh, now you kind of do, but
Just regular
yeah.
hay fever was so intense that it would disrupt my life unless I got a weekly allergy shot, dude.
Wow.
I've grown out of that, but still in the spring it's bad enough to have a fanny pack full of Kleenex. So that's going on. Or else if I forget that, God forbid, then I'm dribbling everywhere and have to use my shirt. Sick.
Totally. Been there.
And don't even get me started on the fact that Jessica grew up in a very rural area and does farmer's blows.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm just like, don't do that with me anymore. It's so disgusting. Me talking. I'm saying that.
That's amazing. See, farmer blows though also, yeah, I don't do that either. I'm not good at it. I don't have good aim.
That's the main issue,
right?
Is I'm just not a skilled farmer's blower.
I also think, is there anything about farmer blowing and having a mustache?
I'm sure.
Too?
Yes, that's great. I'm not a very good spitter either. So
Me neither.
You know how some people are so good at spitting?
I know. That was one of those things when I was in middle school, I was so jealous of. That people could spit super far.
I've never confessed this to anyone before, but I've felt the same way.
I was like, how do you
very
do
inadequate in my spitting.
Totally.
Anyway, it's another case of just it's so annoying to have allergies when I'm out there.
Yeah.
And it's just I don't even like to go outside. I'm doing yard work, which is a great excuse not to do yard work because my allergies. But even doing that or anything that I can't think of the word, but it makes things go up into the air around you,
stirs it up, or
that's it. Anything that stirs anything up. So slamming your car door when there's pollen on it and hoping it doesn't get inside the car, all that stuff. But when you're running, the street, dude, is yellow.
Yep, totally.
And so you're kicking that up while you're running, and it's just one more block.
For sure, dude. Yeah, our lawn, especially in the backyard, especially towards the end of the summer, which usually gets pretty dry.
Yeah.
I mean, we live in a humid, warm place that rains. It's not a desert climate like you guys.
Right.
But it's still our backyard. I've said it before, but I call it the sand lot because it's just it's dirt, but it has enough little bits of grass that I still need to mow it every week.
That's the most annoying thing. You might as well get one or the other.
Yeah, I'm out there and I do full body sneezes. Those
yes.
Just blasting, and it feels incredible.
Yeah.
A full body sneeze. That's one of
up
the best
there. That is up there with bodily feelings.
Especially when for 30 seconds it can't happen, then you go and it comes out. It's so good.
Now, one time, Jessica and I, when we were newlyweds, we'd never been on a vacation before.
Yeah.
And so we went to Wisconsin Dells.
Yeah.
In the early fall. I was sneezing, bro.
Oh man.
We were going to ride the ducks. Have you ridden the ducks?
Oh yeah, I
Wisconsin
love that.
Dells. It's
totally.
a big kind of army vehicle that drives around. Yep. We're doing this again this summer for my parents' 50th. We're going to go on the ducks.
So fun.
Anyways, I sneezed so hard because it was the fall and I had my allergies that I threw my back out, which Jessica is like, you didn't have to do what you did when you sneezed. It sounds like you mowing the lawn. We're just like, like just to make sure people know I'm sneezing.
No, but it adds to it, and I do it if nobody's looking. You know what I
I
mean?
was still early in the marriage, so I didn't know I was supposed to do it when I was only alone. So I was like, this will impress her. Sneezed really hard, threw my back out, and then went on the ducks anyway, and it was so painful.
Oh man.
Everything that's the funnest thing on the ducks was the worst for
Yeah.
me because I had thrown my back out sneezing.
Oh man.
So I have a long sordid history with allergies, and now it's come into my running life, and it's so annoying. So that's the second block.
Okay.
Number 3.
Wait. Do you have a
Oh yeah, my
practical?
tip. Wear a mask.
Okay,
We're
that's
in
funny. I wrote that same thing.
we're in an age now that actually, I wear a N95 mask. I got used to it during the pandemic. And so
Yep.
it's still obviously it's annoying and sucks. I'm not going to tell
Yeah.
you that running with a mask is fun, but it actually, I did it a couple times and it does help me with the sneezies while I'm running during allergy season.
Nice. Okay, so that was my idea too in when mowing the sand lot,
Yeah.
was to wear a mask, and I never actually did
Okay. You should try
for
it.
whatever reason. Um, and actually, I've seen since the pandemic many people out mowing the lawn
Yeah.
with masks on,
I
and
I'm not surprised. I have too. It's because it's like now it's not so ridiculous to wear a mask and you have them.
yeah, it's a great tool.
Why not use them for other things? And
Yep,
so I
I
use
totally agree.
my pandemic mask when I'm like using the table saw.
Uh,
Where before I was
well,
just like, I don't need that, and you're sucking in dust.
uh-huh. Well, that actually is. Remember, you can think of like people doing woodwork and
Right.
right wearing
Yes,
masks. It like
definitely.
you're like, oh, people have been doing this for like ever. It's
Now that
great.
I own one, I should do it
Mm-hmm.
too. Yeah. So
Sure.
I'm sure that's the same thing with people mowing their lawn. I see it all the time. People doing yard work wearing masks because it keeps the pollen out. It keeps the dust out. Sorry, I burped. That's so rude.
It's
It's
all
because
good.
I actually have a La Croix. How do you do this every week?
Yeah,
Drink a
dude.
La
This
Croix and
is
not burp.
the tables have turned.
And I've learned my lesson. Okay. Number 3. Oh, also take allergy medication.
Oh, okay. Good.
Actually really helps.
That's good.
Is this the dumbest episode we've ever recorded? I think this might be
No,
up there.
no way.
Okay.
First of all, super practical. Second of all, we did a cracker episode.
Oh, right. Okay. That's the absolute. Is it the high or the low? I can't tell. All right. Number 3, bugs. Oh, those bugs. The bugs have
Yeah.
come out. Now, this I
Yep.
think might be very like in particular to like a desert or high desert where you don't get any bugs at all
Sure. Yep.
for 6-7 months of the year. And then as soon as there's any cooling or moisture, everything's a hatching.
Wow. Okay. Yeah.
And bugs also, I mean, I know when I come back home to Wisconsin, like bugs are just a whole different issue. There's fewer bugs in Arizona, but all the bugs there are can kill you. There's a lot
Oh.
more bugs in, not all of them. That's what people say.
Yeah.
That's an Arizonism. But like when I go home in the summer, dude, to Wisconsin, and those bugs, the
Oh man.
mosquitoes.
It is crazy. So yeah, what's the
Yuck.
Wisconsin term for that? It's Wisconsin's
The state
bird.
bird is the
The
mosquito.
state bird.
Yeah.
Yeah. The
Yep.
state bird is a mosquito. Yep. There's our Wisconsinism. I forgot for a second.
So I know that people in
yeah.
other parts of the country and world deal with bugs differently, but in particular in the spring in Arizona are just clouds of gnats.
Mm.
You ever like ride your bike through like a cloud of tiny bugs?
Oh, totally.
That's what I'm dealing with right now. spring related, is that there is like a small man-made body of water close to our house on a 3 mile run if I want to do it. But if I
Mm-hmm.
even get close to that body of water, which I like doing because it's nice to run by water, it's like a little man-made pond. There are just thick clouds of
Yeah.
bugs.
Oh yeah.
And sometimes I'm like holding my breath through half the run because I'm running through these clouds of bugs. Stinks.
100%. So I have not noticed many bug issues again in Georgia,
Mm.
although we totally have mosquitoes and
In the summer,
uh,
especially, I'm assuming.
oh yeah, 100%. This is a spring and summer problem.
Yeah.
Mosquitoes.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, and I mean, but like ones that would affect you during running would only be that because like palmetto bugs and cockroaches and
Oh, right. Yeah.
spiders and stuff. That those are just like those aren't running related. Just yucky,
Even though I
sucky.
have often seen scorpions and twice seen a tarantula on
Wow.
runs here in Arizona.
Wow. Okay, that would freak me out.
We
Actually,
used to, we had a
our
family of tarantulas that lived in our neighbor under our neighbor's porch when the
wow.
kids were little. Um, and it was freaky.
Yeah. See, if you were gonna have a block like that for Georgia, it would be snakes.
Oh, right. Okay. Yeah.
So the trail that I run along the Chattahoochee, I've
Yeah.
seen many snakes,
Wow.
including like a humongous one because I saw like a bunch of people up front like looking at something,
Uh-huh.
and then somebody told me he's like, "Hey, there's a copperhead up there,"
Okay.
and I'm
Yeah.
like, "Yeah." It there's man, dude, looking at a snake up close is like kind of freaky.
Yeah, there's
It's
rattlers in Arizona that you have to
okay.
be careful for. Are you are you do you have a snake? Are you an Indiana Jones type man? Are you scared of snakes?
I don't like him, bro. No,
Yeah, I don't
definitely
like them
not.
very much either. Um,
I'm sorry to
I
say.
like I like rattlers because they warn you
Yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
you can get out of there.
Hmm.
But then you hear about like, well, yeah, but what about baby rattlesnakes? They don't have their rattlers developed yet, and they're the most dangerous. And then that freaks me out. And if I see a really
Yeah,
small snake, I'm super scared because I think it might be a baby rattlesnake that's gonna come bite me and kill me.
I know. Yeah, I saw one in a creek once,
Mm-hmm.
right by where we were, go by super fast,
Yeah.
and I was like, we are down in those creeks in flip flops like all the time.
Right. Yeah.
And
Is it the
actually,
case that actually most snakes probably are not dangerous,
oh yeah,
but there are enough that you have to be careful.
yeah. It's just it's a little scary.
Yeah.
But what we did ever since then, because that
Mm-hmm.
was like 4 years ago, is we always wear like hunter boots, like
Oh yeah.
tall waterproof boots,
Okay.
and then we just have a blast because like
Yeah.
our toesies are
Right.
nice and dry, and you're safer, but you're still looking out, and also the ones in trees.
What?
That's freaky, bro.
What do
Yeah,
you
like
mean?
they like to hang out in trees so you can look up.
Snakes do?
Yeah, totally.
Ugh. Oh no, now I'm scared.
I don't know.
Now I have to think
It's
about snakes above me too.
I know we should have had a trigger warning. I'm sorry, people, because
This is news to me and I don't like this news.
somebody. Okay,
Snakes in
so
trees.
yeah, like okay, I just remember somebody sending me a video of they were redoing a. No, let's not even go there. Just
How
redoing
do
a
they get up
cabin.
there? These snakes don't have hands or
I don't
feet.
know, dude, but they were like, "Look at this," and there it
And
was
there's
coming
snakes
down.
up there.
Yeah.
Maybe they're dropped from something. Maybe like a a, a bird has
Ugh.
picked it up and then accidentally dropped into the tree, and that's how they get up there.
Oh, maybe. I don't know, dude, but I am very sorry to our audience about that. If
Again,
you're
we're
still
not
with us.
scientists. And so you'll really know we're not scientists when I tell you my tips for bugs. One is wear bug spray. That's the first one.
Hmm. Okay.
I don't know if that actually works though for these clouds of gnats that I'm going through. A bug spray works for like mosquitoes
Uh,
and stuff, right? But would it
yeah,
work for this other stuff? It wouldn't like part like the Red Sea when I'm running through them or something.
right. So in Florida, we had those tons of those gnats, And I
Yeah.
remember that one place I used to run on, Frog Alley.
Right.
You
I
would
remember it
just
too.
run through a cloud. And so, yeah, hold your breath, maybe put your hand over your nose and mouth.
That was my other tip. Hold that breath.
Yeah,
Um, I guess a mask might work too. The worst of it is when
for
you,
sure.
because you're breathing hard. If
Yep.
you run through a cloud of those gnats, you're gonna get some in your mouth and nose. So a mask
Oh,
might
totally.
help when you see a cloud coming.
I've had them in my nose and in my mouth, and yuck.
Yeah.
Um, the in Florida, the other thing we had, and they are here in Georgia as well, is called no-see-ums.
Yep. No CMs.
So they're just like frigging everywhere. And so like
Mm-hmm.
our tip for that worked for years was scented baby wipes from Target.
I remember this tip
Yes.
from early in the podcast that
Yeah,
for
dude.
some reason that particular smell
Yeah.
is something that no CMs don't like.
They didn't like it because it was baby Lily. We'd
Mm-hmm.
go out in the Bob stroller,
Yep, this is very familiar
and
to me. Yeah.
if we were outside for more than 10 seconds, she would have a welt
Mm-hmm.
somewhere on her body.
Yeah.
Just because she reacted to those no-see-ums so bad, and they were friggin' everywhere.
Yeah.
And they must have been like, ooh, little baby,
Well,
you
I
know?
mean, this is a good tip then for those that live in Florida that
Dude, it was
baby
phenomenal.
wipes. Okay.
Yeah, because so I have a problem with bug spray because of chemicals
Right. Yep.
and or because the best kind are like super chemically. No, if you've got a
Right.
great one, send it in because then we have this other one that's more natural, but I hate the smell of it. And so
Yeah.
like
And that's
we
an issue with bug spray is that it can be
yeah,
very uh, aromatic, and that can you can respond to that differently. So
for
find
sure.
the right bug spray. That might actually not work for you, but baby wipes could. Sometimes you just got to hold your breath.
Yep, that's good. The reason the baby wipes rocked is I didn't need to take a shower. Like
Okay,
I can't go to bed if
with
I don't
bug
take a
spray
shower
on.
if I put on bugs. Yeah, I can't do it.
What about suntan lotion? Not suntan
Totally
lotion,
great.
sunscreen.
Yeah, it smells like the beach. It smells great. I mean,
Okay.
I still would more like to get yeah take a shower, but I probably would be okay not. But bug spray can't.
Yeah. Yep. Okay. I have one overarching tip about all this, and you already actually said it, which
Oh,
is
okay.
that it just for me sometimes to get me out when I have a lot of annoying things keeping me inside is I consider it training through adversity.
Hmm. Love it.
And I try to change my mind from this sucks and so I'm not going to go out to this sucks and so I am going to go out.
Got it.
Um, so did I tell you about this thing on Noom that really changed my mind about some things about shopping? Like,
I
um,
think maybe.
sometimes you can use the grocery store to train in adversity by purposefully walking down aisles full of food that you know are bad for you and choosing not to get that food. And that actually
Interesting.
develops grit,
Huh.
and it develops like mental muscles for when you're at home and you're faced with two choices, healthy or unhealthy.
Mm-hmm.
You've strengthened that muscle to say no to the unhealthy stuff. So
Dang.
that kind of like mental trick for some reason really works on me, just thinking a little bit differently about this or that. And so sometimes I actually have to say, it's windy out, but that's good for you
Yes.
because then you're building some sort of mental muscle that says, I'm going to run anyway. So spring can be super annoying, but maybe change your mind a little bit about this will strengthen you for all the other blocks that you have to overcome.
That's awesome, dude. Okay, let me drop one quick block and then one final
Love it.
note. Okay,
Yep.
so the block I thought of as you were opening is that I do know that summer is pending.
Uh-huh.
And so like annually spring is like gotta get it in now and
Yeah.
gotta get momentum started now.
Yep.
Actually, wait, that's not really a block. Sorry, that's not a block. That's just a thought.
Does
Is
that
like
keep you in or get you out?
nope, that gets me out. It's actually it's a it's an
It's an
overcoming.
overcomer. Yeah.
Yeah, it's an overcomer. It's like it happens every spring, and it's always my
Okay.
birthday. There's always my birthday run
Oh
and
yeah, you're right.
too, but it's like I'm I'm like if I've done any procrastination or
Mm-hmm.
anything like that, I'm like this is it.
Yep.
It's almost like spring is the final procrastinators running time because summer is pending, and if you haven't started by spring, like you're kind of screwed because I hate starting from scratch
Yeah.
or you know what I mean, like starting from not having done
Starting
it for a long
from
time.
scratch in the hardest time to run is
Yep,
really hard. Yep.
exactly.
Yeah.
So that's more of an overcoming than a
Mm-hmm.
block. Here I'm gonna sit up. I've been I because we're 3 hours into the session now, and so I'm
Yeah, I
like,
mean, I wish, listener, you could have seen him for most of the time. His head was at the very bottom quarter of the screen. He's laying way back in his chair.
just got the
At least I can
seat.
see a lot of your room when you do that. Now he has sat up and he's center stage again.
Yep. No, but I was enjoying all of
Yeah,
that. All of
yeah,
your ideas was great.
sweet.
Let me close with this
Okay,
practical tip, dude. So, you heard on last episode that I tore my calf muscle in my right leg
right. What's
and
this? What's the wedding game version of that?
gastrocnemius
Yes,
and
gastrocnemius.
soleus.
Right. Okay.
Um, and so for 2 weeks now, I haven't run and I haven't
Mm-hmm.
walked.
Wow.
And dude, it sucks.
Mm-hmm.
It really sucks.
Yeah.
And it's been rough because it's hurt my mental state. It's when I spend time with God. It's when I spend
Mm-hmm.
time clearing my mind. And I forgot. Is it a domino habit? Is
Yeah,
that
or Keystone Domino. Yeah, he kind of uses it interchangeably. James Clear does.
well, the thing I like about the domino is it sets others in motion,
Right. Yep.
um, as opposed to a keystone, which is like a cornerstone or like a this is a very very important one. A domino habit is setting your clothes out the night before,
Right. Yep.
because it sets other things in motion. So
Yeah.
something about that rhythm, bro. It sets, I do. That's where I start pray as you go. I have missed so many pray as you goes.
Mm-hmm.
I've missed a number of quiet times.
Yeah.
Why? I had the same time.
Yeah,
You
but
know what I mean?
but it's the domino habit, right? You found what helps you get to the places that you want to get to, and that sucks when it's been taken away.
Yeah. So my my thing that I've been thinking as we've been talking through all these
Yeah.
is, man, do I want to run and feel
Mm-hmm.
the wind in my hair and
Yeah.
feel the hills pushing up and practice
Mm.
run walk run and go out with Indy and do pray as you go and listen to ET and listen to Saving Private Ryan and feel the sweat, you
Yeah.
know?
Yep.
So,
Even if you sneeze a little, even if there's some
yeah.
bugs, even if it's windy, running
Yeah.
is so worth it.
Yep.
And I
And
know what you mean. When you're injured, it's just the absence makes the heart grow fonder thing,
yeah.
where it's like such an amazing thing that we get to run.
Yep. So I guess maybe if you haven't gone through that in a while,
Mm-hmm.
just as somebody that's going through that right now and can't wait to
Mm-hmm.
get back,
Yeah.
is be grateful for like the super simple act
Yeah.
of taking your dog for a walk, of going
Mm-hmm.
for a run, like,
Yeah.
um, and I've never been more excited to get back out, and
Awesome.
especially that 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 cornerstone keystone idea of run walk run being a big tool in our tool belt.
Yeah.
It's like I can't wait to get back to my watch doing the playlist that we set up, or the
Yep.
timers and all
The
that. So
intervals. Yeah. Yeah.
intervals, yeah.
Now, hopefully, since we're recording this episode a month before releasing it,
Yeah,
you will, as we're releasing this, you'll be back out there. But man,
totally.
I'm rooting for you. I know other people are
Thanks,
too.
man.
Um, Spring even though things can be annoying, I love your words, Anthony, that it's like it's worth getting out there because of all the
Yep.
benefits of running and walking. Hey, we want to hear from you, nation. What's spring like for you? Is it fun to run in the spring? Are there blocks? Are there tips that you might have for us? Or if you'd like to tell us about summer, since that's when this episode is coming out,
Mm.
what are the specific blocks for you in the summer? The best place to contact us or follow us is on Instagram. That's at Two Gomers. Our link tree is in the bio there. You can find all of our other links to our socials and other things. You can call us on the Gomer phone. That number is
608 622 7669. That's 608 NAB Pony. Call
make sure
us.
you're rating us, reviewing us, subscribing, or following us on whatever podcast app you're listening to us on right now. Thank you to Davis for our music, Jason and Eric for our graphics, Adam for our web design and webmastering, and Annie, our social media guru. Thank you, Annie. If you want more Gomers, if you're new to the Gomers, you can go back to our 10th anniversary episodes and get a figurative taste of the Gomers, September through November of 2018. Sorry, that was gross. You can subscribe to our bonus disc. That's the best way to get much more Gomers and support us. Keep the lights on here at Gomer Studios West, and where Anthony is, Gomer Studios East. That's patreon.com/Two Gomers. You get full advantage of Gomer Fridays. This podcast comes out every other week, but on the off weeks is Perfect Movie. And depending on what level you support us at, you can get other bonus episodes every month. That's patreon.com/Two Gomers.
Awesome, dude. Well, thanks for springing this episode on us. And lots of great tips. Lots
Thank
of
you.
super relatable stuff.
Yeah.
Loved it.
All right, dude. Don't let spring. Don't let spring. Dang it. Spring ahead to the street. Okay, that's it. Great app.
Super fun, man. And remember, everybody, if we can do this, if we can overcome, you can too.
And happy running. All right.
Nice. Awesome. All right, let's stop that.